Good morning. How are you? Good morning. All right. So we're going to start out with some fun stuff initially, and then we're going to drop into the content. Welcome to week 4 of Becoming. I'm so excited that you guys are going across this journey with me. Normally, Newbie Circle is a little different, but it was placed on my heart to do a series about becoming because a lot of people never do this process. And I think it's so important in the beginning of your business to do this, to free yourself and kind of get some clarity in terms of where you're going and see this business more in a long term instead of just seeing it as a way to make money. You're going to make money. You're going to make money. You just have to consistently come do the things. And then when you get that clarity, it makes making money so much more easier. And you might think, well, she's crazy, but stick with me. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with that. So let's start off first. Let's start off with, actually got a video for you guys real quick. It kind of talks about what we talked about in the prior weeks, but it kind of will bring things full circle. And so let's watch this video together. All right, so those of you guys who are watching the recording later, the link will be down in the comments. So what I want to hear in the comments, so what are some things that jumped out to you that you maybe haven't even really, just period, what's some things that jumped out to you as you were listening to it? Because this is stuff that we've all went over already, and we're kind of going to get on into a deeper level when it comes to this. But what gets, I just saw Jovan, she had wrote earlier that you get paid to solve problems. Like that's what you get paid to do. That's what we get paid to do. We are problem solvers, right? Yes, I am a problem solver. I love that. Yes. Understanding their needs, knowing your audience, needing to sharpen your axe. Y'all, I think the thing that hit me the biggest when it came to this whole thing was, and it may not be true. I think it starts out true for most people. I mean, there may be 1% that this may not apply, and that's fine. But I would say that most of y'all on here, you want to reach you, right? So once you really realize how this business has changed your life, you want to reach you before you started the business. If that relates to you, drop a 1 in the comments. If that relates to you, that's me. And I've been in this business for 7.5 years. I want to reach, because I'm like, dang, if I could have found this, like, I don't know why I keep saying Velocity name. She must be about to be a millionaire. But Velocity, like, I think about knowing, or even like Amaya, like, I'm thinking about them in college. Bruh, if I would have had this when I was in college, like, listen, oh my goodness, if I would have been able to develop, even the development, not just the money, I would have loved the money, but the development when I was in college, or even thinking about Cheyenne Knox and thinking about her developing both, like, she was in high school when she started this business. Can we just pause for the cause real quick? Cheyenne Knox, does anybody know who she is? Drop a 2 in the comments if you know who she is. Do y'all know why y'all looking at her now? That she started this business when she was 18. Everybody like, dang, I wish I could do it like that. Y'all, she started this business when she was 18. You got to learn people's stories. She started this business and got talked about by her peers in high school. She overcame so much to get to where she is and walk in the confidence that she walks in now. That girl was crying tears back in high school because she was being bullied and decided that it does not matter. Decided to go to college just like the rest of her friends, her peers, and said, this ain't for me. Like, the money just isn't worth it for me. And so she decided to fully apply herself to her business. You have to learn people's stories, y'all. And this is a big thing with admiring people. Even when it comes to me, like, dang, Rachel. Okay, this is why I try to be very open and honest. This is why our team is humble, open, and transparent. Humble, open, and transparent. Transformation Nation, what's up? Like, that's why we are in that place, because I want you to know this was a journey. It is a journey. It is a journey. We talked about this on, I feel like somebody needs to hear this. We talked about this on Monday Meetup. Get on these things, y'all. Get on these things. You need to show up. Like, it's so important. I don't waste time. Like, I don't. So all of these meetings, if they weren't beneficial to growing you into where you need to be to actually do the work, then they wouldn't be done. I would not be wasting my time. I'm not here to just do things for Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to do something. Like, that's not what this squad does. Everything that we do is conducive to growing you into the person that God intends for you to be. Like, seriously. But we were talking about, oh, I lost it. Oh, bring it back, Jesus. Oh. He'll bring it back. All right, we're gonna move on past that. I'm praying, bring it back, Jesus, bring it back. But you gotta show up, y'all, because there's so many things that you'll get in the room that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So show up, get into the room. All right, so can I tell you guys, as I pull my notes out, okay, week 4, we're talking about understanding your audience, and we'll kind of get into creating content to speak to your audience. All right. Now, if you did not go 1 through 3, like, just take some time and go and just watch those. But before we understand our audience, there's 5 things that I want to go through with you guys. And you like, dang, Rachel, why is it all about me? Because it is becoming. It's all about you. You have to become in order to attract what you desire to attract. Who did y'all hear that? You have to become who you want to become in order to attract what you're going to attract. So here's the thing. You can't be Rachel and attract Rachel at the same time. That's my girl name. I don't know. Insert your person's name. Did y'all hear that? You can't be her and attract her at the same time. And it's like, well, Rachel, don't like, attract, like. Okay, that's not how this works in business, okay? Because people want something to aspire to be, right? People are looking towards something. So right now, Rachel wants to be inspired. Rachel wants to become. She wants to become. So all you got to do, listen, you signed up for the business. That was becoming, whether you believe it or not. That was step 1. And stop minimizing your becoming. You went to the gym once. Okay, boo, you becoming. Just make sure you go on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop selling yourself short and trying to act like you haven't made enough progress to make a difference. That was for somebody. Stop selling yourself short and saying that you haven't made enough progress to make a difference. Yes, you have. And I don't see everybody's pages, but I'm going to say, for example, like Amaya. First of all, Amaya, changing your name on Facebook, that was a big deal. Because now if corporate wants to find you, they can find you. If corporate wants to highlight you, they can go in and find your name. That was a big deal. It takes so many people so long to change their name. It's so crazy. For whatever reason, everybody has their own reasons and they do it in their own time, which is fine. But that is important. And then the consistency of your content and your belief, because belief is a big thing. When you said that you was going to be, listen, it reminded, it's so many people that remind me of myself, right? It reminded me of myself, like saying, I went on there, I was like 26, and I was like, bro, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. And people like, oh, that's nice, you know? And then I was a millionaire by the time I was 30. It happened, right? Because I got up every single day, and I chose to believe it even when people didn't believe me. I chose to believe it. I'm out here Ruby status, like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like, what? Like, you make like $5 from the company. Like, what are you talking about? You know? And then it happened. And so the small things matter, y'all. And stop discrediting your small things. You know, so we had a tip from the top or something, and somebody asked me about the wins. The wins. What are wins to Rachel? Y'all, being on this call right now is a win. I could easily, praise the Lord, it's not basketball because the COVID. I am sensitive to the fact that you don't have basketball, Brianna. I am. But I got a babysitter. It ain't a babysitter because we do this together. But my kids are occupied. Praise the Lord. That is a win for me. Like, that's a win that I get to sit down here uninterrupted prayerfully for an hour. Oh, he might be angry. Please don't be angry sitting down here, okay? I'm sorry. Forgive me. For an hour and being able to pour into my squad and give what it is that I've learned, right? So stop discrediting your wins. I got up this morning. I actually ate breakfast. That's a win. Like, look for the wins. Focus on the good. When you focus on the good, it grows. Where your focus goes, grows, y'all. I got up a post. I loaded to my stories. Oh, she winning. Like, for real. Come on, Mark. Winning. Seriously. Stop discrediting yourself. Stop focusing on what isn't happening and focus on what is happening. Focus on the good. All right. So here's the thing, y'all. Understanding your audience first starts with, does somebody know? What does understanding your audience first start with? Who got it? Understanding you. Ain't that crazy? Like all the research I did, y'all. Understanding your audience, number one, comes with understanding yourself, y'all. There's no way around it. There is no way. You are no longer an employee. I don't care if you still work a job. You are an entrepreneur. And even if you're still at a job, you're going to start thinking like an entrepreneur, despite the fact that you're an employee. Just don't think too much like an entrepreneur and get fired like me, because I got fired. Praise the Lord, I got fired though. Hallelujah. I didn't feel that way when it happened. Kind of a little bit. Anyways. All right. So we're going to go through 5 things. Number 1, we have core values as a team. Okay. We do. If you have not read them, please get to know them so that you can understand what you joined and what you're a part of. But you have to have core values for your brand. And when you say brand, I say for me, right? Because I am my brand, right? But that's me personally. Because I'm not somebody, I'm the real person. I'm the same. My brand is me. Like it's the same thing for me. So I want you to think of 3 words that invoke feeling that describe your brand. These are going to be your core values. Your core values. Don't tell me what your grandma and them did, okay? What your mama did and how your mama set up your family and all that jazz. If that's something that you want to implement into your life, awesome. But it should not just because my mama did it this way, so I'm gonna do it this way. Ooh, she said this, so this sound nice. So I'm gonna tell y'all mine, but I don't want y'all to drop y'all's right now. I'll have you guys drop them here in a second, but don't drop right now. 3 core values. So for example, and it's crazy, I actually created my 3 core values when I read High Performance Habits. It's actually an alarm that goes off on my phone. Mine's are, and tell me if this is real. Like, can you guys see this when it comes to my brand? I am vibrant. My 3 core values is vibrant, grateful, and giving. Those are my 3 core values. Vibrant, grateful, and giving. Can you see that? Y'all, that goes across every aspect of my life, not just my social media brand, because your brand has to actually be who you are in person. Like in real life, if somebody meets you, well, they say, oh my gosh, she is vibrant, grateful, and giving. That's my goal, is that people see that in me. And so thank you. Won't you do it? Praise the Lord. So I want y'all to drop your 3 values. So some people might be like fun. Some people might be inviting. Some people might be, I don't know, you know your thing. So drop your 3. What are your 3 core values that you are going to have for your brand? Mine aren't gonna, I mean, I'm not gonna say that because, you know, it can change, but these have been my values for years. Like I am high energy. Like I'm very vibrant. I like to bring the mood up. I like to have fun. Now I do test out temperaments, and I'm thankful for discernment. Praise the Lord, right? So yes, I love them. Yes. Trust, honesty, communication, understanding, strong and happy, relentless, positive, and loving. Yes, consistent, passionate, gratitude. That's good. Happy, helpful, and faithful. Now, when I meet y'all, I should be able to see these things. So, y'all, these core values need to walk with you wherever you go. You are a thermostat. You are a world changer. You are a room changer. When you walk into a room, the room has to change to your temperature, or you leave it. Did y'all hear that? When you walk into a room, the room has to change to your temperature, or you leave it. That's an entrepreneur, not an employee, because an employee doesn't have a choice. And that's where your bubble of peace comes in. I'm not telling you to leave your job. That's where you have to create a bubble of peace to where it's your temperature inside your bubble. And you maintain your temperature. You cannot, just because everybody else is in this place, you gravitate towards their temperature. It has to be steadfast. So if I'm in the store, I'm just gonna say I'm going to Target, right? I go into Target, I see those Target greeters, and they like, hey, welcome to Walmart. I'm like, hey, hi. You know, I'm not like, hi. Like, no, I'm vibrant. If I'm vibrant for real, no, I'm not saying I can handle off that. But if I'm vibrant for real, then I should be like, they should get the hey, you know? Like, hey, there should be a rise in my voice, not a hey. You know, like I'm not vibrant. Like that's not, I'm grateful I'm able to even go to the store. That's how I move. Because I don't have to be here. I get to go to the store and buy stuff for my family. I get to have money in my account. That's where I am. That's my core value. In everything that I do, I am grateful. So I just was able to go, and then maybe this is to inspire somebody right now. You can let me know if it is. But this past week, I went and stayed with my grandmother. She had knee surgery. She had her knee replaced. And my mom went down there and stayed for maybe about a week and a half. And I was like, okay, I'll go down after you come home because she had to go back to work. So I went down and stayed with my grandma. I took my youngest with me. And what was so crazy is I'm in this place of just, again, I'm vibrant, grateful, and giving. Vibrant, grateful, and giving. Those are my 3 core values. And so I'm putting myself in a position to where when I walk in, and I'm able to put myself in a place where, okay, how can I say this? I didn't sign up for that. Can I just tell you that? I did not sign up so I could assist my grandparents. You know, some of y'all might have. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up so that in the middle of the week I could just go wherever I need to go, don't have to ask for permission, having the ability to put gas in the tank, like, I mean, my grandma lives three hours away. So being able to go, and then I'm eating certain things. So I had to actually take food with me. I had to actually be able to feed myself so that I wasn't down there just eating anything. Y'all, I am so grateful for the ability to go and stay with my grandma. The whole time I was down there, my core value is giving. And so I was able to serve her on a level that my grandfather cannot because of his age. Right? And then I am, no matter if my grandma's having a bad day or not, I'm here, regardless of how much sleep I have, to be the vibrant person in her household. Even, y'all know how old people are, okay? I'm sorry if that offended anybody, because I say that to them. But if it offends you, forgive me. Seasoned. See, the wise people are, okay? Wise, because, you know, with age and wisdom. All right, the wise are. They funny. I think it's funny. Do anybody grandparents crack them up? Mine do. I don't know. They be cracking me up. And so I take everything, you know, back in the day, I would feel some type of way, but I'd be cracking up. And so I just be laughing. You know, sometimes you can't laugh at them because they don't take that. But, you know, I guess I'm grown now. So I'd be like, y'all are something else, and just be in my own bubble, regardless. So what are your core values? Your core values have to go with you wherever you go. That does not mean you can't be irritated in certain situations and circumstances, but if these are your core values, you should always bounce back. You should always bounce back. So, core values. And some of y'all might need to put them somewhere. I actually have an alarm in my phone. So how about y'all make a note to put an alarm in your phone? My alarm goes off. You can do it several times a day, but I have an alarm that has been going off on my phone for years, plural. Every day, it tells me I'm vibrant, grateful, and giving. At 1 o'clock. Mine goes off at 1 o'clock, and it works perfectly because now I take my gummies at the same time that I take. So now it's a double alarm because I take my gummies and I'll be like, oh, she grateful, vibrant, and giving, and she ain't got no love handles. Okay. Anyways, number 2, you guys, I want you guys to pick 2 social media platforms. 2 social media platforms. Okay. Now, I just learned this, but I've been already doing it, which is great. Number 1, you want a place that you can add value and link. So, for example, if you go live on Facebook all the time, like where are you adding value? Do you do makeup? Like, do you go live and do makeup on Facebook? Like, where are you? Like, I don't know, you might have a YouTube about doing makeup. Like, where are you adding value? Are you actually giving the tips on how to be consistent with taking your products? How to, I don't know, get workouts into your day, how to be a mom of 5. Like, I don't know, what is your thing? Where is your place to add value? And then the second platform is for engagement. So this is where you can do your IG, you can do Twitter. This is where you are literally building relationships. And then you're going to interchange the two. But once you get flowing, you'll understand this. Don't do too much. Because I've been wanting to open up a new Twitter, but Ratchet Rachel might take over Twitter. And so I'm just going to stay on Instagram. Because a lot be going through my mind and I can't tweet everything that be on my mind. So I'm just going to build relationships on Instagram. But maybe you in a place where you can give value on Twitter. So you should be on Twitter. But you can't be on these places just to consume. You're on these platforms to give. So number 1, add value. Number 2, add engagement, build relationships, or whatever. So I want you to just drop in the comments. You can change them later. What are your 2 platforms? What are your 2 main platforms? And you might not have it yet. You might need to create one. It could be Facebook and Instagram. Those are 2 different type of platforms. Yeah. Awesome. Snapchat. Okay, see, Rachel can't be on Snapchat neither. She can't. I get on the filters and just, I don't know. So that's what's up. Yes, Snapchat is a great place to build. Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. Yes, awesome. To build the engagement. Yep. See, but you got to know yourself. That's real. You have to know yourself. And I know that certain places I just cannot be because I don't have the self-control. TikTok is not one of my places because no self-control. I will be on TikTok for 3 hours. I'm not kidding. On there for 3 hours. Whoa. Like, no, doing too much. It's like, Rachel, have several seats. Like, sit down. Trying to figure it out in my mind. Like, what am I doing? It's different, like, to hop on there. I do put content on these places, but they're not my building places. All right? So, yes. Shut up, Robin. All right. Number 3, guys. Number 3. Clarity. You have to be clear. Your content or who your audience is has to be clear and consistent. You can help anyone. Can I just say that? You can help anyone. And your content, even though you have a definite audience, you will still help people outside of that audience. Can I tell you that? So release that right now. You will be able to help other people outside of that audience. But you still need to be defined in terms of being clear and consistent. So when this comes to like posting, this where it comes to like, people talk about like branding. First of all, can we talk about like sharing people's stuff? If it does not go along with your brand, do not share it. And I'm talking about your brand, right? So vibrant, grateful, and giving, like, or my core values, or who I'm actually looking for, or won't appeal to that person, then don't do it. It's great to introduce yourself so people can know exactly who you are, but you want to appeal to Rachel. I'm saying my person's name. So if you want to share stuff to people, send it in their inbox. Don't post it on your page. Be very particular on your commercials. That's what your page is. When people look through your page, when people look at your page, it's literally your resume. So they'd be like, oh, she got a business, but she ratchet, and she go to church on Sundays, but I ain't gonna say that part because that was a little shady. But you don't want that. It's all over the place. Do she got kids? Oh yeah, but we don't never see them. Well, why she don't show her face? Like, she on a weight loss journey, but no before and after pictures. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to be all over the place. But the only way that it's all over the place is if we're internally all over the place. And that can be an ouch, y'all. I give you permission to say ouch, like, for real. It can be an ouch, because every time I'm not in a place to be like, dang, okay, it always comes back to me. It always comes back to me. It's always comes back to me. When it comes to becoming better or creating a bigger container for where it is that I desire to go. And somebody looked over and said, hey, okay, Rachel, your page is not, it's not inviting. It's not inviting. It doesn't really show me who you are. Does your page show who you really are? But then it goes to, do you even know who you are? Or have you been magazining it out your whole life? That was me, y'all. 2018, I completely took everything away. Okay? Everything. This is when I went on my natural hair journey. I took my lashes off. I stopped buying clothes. I was on a clothes spending freeze for a year. I went on a year of buying no clothes besides it work stuff. I mean, well, you know, in moderation. A whole year. Did not buy new clothes. Why? I had no idea who I was. I'm the one who will go in and be like, oh, that's cute on the mannequin. Like, give me that outfit. Or I'll be on Pinterest like, summer outfits. And be like, oh, that's cute together. Let me find them pieces. That was me. I didn't know exactly what I liked. I was not embracing who I was and being okay with who I was. Can we say that? Because some of y'all might know who you are, but you haven't fully embraced her or embraced him because you didn't like what you see. Hey, if you don't like what you see, you can change it. I mean, for real, you can change it. And you have to understand that change is a process. And every day gets better. Every day gets sweeter. And God will help you. And that's real. So clear and consistent on your purpose. Clear and consistent on your purpose. And y'all, you don't have, it will be revealed to you as you keep walking. That's faith, not sight. We walk by faith, not sight. But you have to keep moving. The closer you move, the more he will reveal to you. The more you move, the more he will reveal. I see the house. I see the car, but I live in the projects. That's fine. Boo, get up. Clean your projects. Like, clean your house. Start there. Because if you're not going to clean your house in the projects, boo, you're not going to clean it when you get in the house. I'm telling you. You won't. I just hire a housekeeper. No, you still shouldn't be trifling. You should take care of your stuff. And I say that with such a gentle heart, y'all, because I'm talking about myself being trifling. It's somebody, yep, she on here. Because I had told my friend that not making your bed was trifling. And so that was something I was talking to myself, and that's personally what I believe about not making beds, okay? But I had to get to that point because I'm somebody who didn't make their bed. I didn't make my bed. And I'm like, you a grown woman not making your bed. Like, you're trifling. Like, you're a grown woman. And then guess what? Trifling trickles. Ooh, somebody should quote me on that. Trifling trickles. What do you mean? Trifling will trickle right on down to your kids. It will. Our son gets up every morning and makes his bed. Why? Because we've decided that making beds is a value in our house. But I love my mama. Mama, I love you. POP, hold it down. But my mama didn't make me make my bed. Trifling trickled. And she actually made her bed, but she didn't make us do it. It trickles. So you don't want trifling to trickle. All right, number 4. Quality over quantity. Yeah. Okay, I got you, Gabby. Quality over quantity. We're going to watch this video and then we'll talk about it. That is so good. So, again, the video will be in the comments for later. But that is so good. 1,000 true fans. But the thing is, when it comes to 1,000 true fans, the quality over the quantity, the loyal supporters, it comes to a point of what are you giving? Like, what value are you adding to their life where they would want to buy from you? What value do you give them? And y'all, value comes a lot of times with breaking down the barriers that you have built for yourself. Breaking down it's so crazy. My son, they have a YouTube teacher. Her name is Miss Monica, okay? And Miss Monica, she's legit. Like, she's so legit. But one thing that she has taught me along the way is a lot of times people hoard their information, Oh, I was just talking to the leadership about this building, I think. A lot of times people hoard their information. Stop hoarding information. Like that is such a scarcity mindset. Okay? She straight went on there and showed people how to do what she's doing. Providing the like at the end of the day, just because somebody needs to learn how to do something does not take away from what you're doing. Giving does not take away from what you're doing. I love sharing with people about like my meal planning. It's because it's changed my whole life. I do. It's changed my whole life. If there's something in the refrigerator, ain't no need unless it's the night. Unless it's the night that I'm going with my family is eating out, then there's no reason to eat out. Shout out to everybody who's still going strong on their 21 days. Still hanging on. Say me, say me, say me. Praise God. I'm praying that God just bless you exceedingly and abundantly because he gave it to me to give to y'all. So there must have been some blessing in the obedience. There is blessing in the obedience. Okay. He didn't do that he did it for me because I'm going to get some of it. Praise the Lord. But I'm telling you, the reason why it went beyond me is to extend to you guys so that there is a blessing in obedience. So shout out to y'all who are still holding on to y'all 21 days. We're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there. Maybe some of y'all starting to realize y'all eat out too much and y'all probably saving some money instead of spending it all the time, just picking up stuff here and there. Okay. Some of y'all learned that y'all was cooks. Okay. Because Javon is a cook for real. I be seeing her stuff like, give me a two. That's probably something that you should be doing. That's a gift of yours. I don't know if you realize that. Your food looks like it's like from the restaurant. Like that's a gift of yours. It's a gift. I don't know. All right. So loyal supporters, y'all. You have number 4 is finding that quality versus the quantity. In order to find the quality over the quantity, you have to be willing to release. All right. Your mama might be your fan in your head, but she might not be one of your 1,000 because she's not a trigger puller. She ain't gonna throw it in the bag. So mommy can be moral support, but she might not be one of the 1,000 fans. Okay. Your bestie might not be one of your 1,000 supporters and fans. These are people who will purchase if you say so. Imagine having 1,000 people who spend $20 with you. 1,000 people, just $20. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. If you had 1,000 people, y'all, who bought a Fat Fighter, that's 25 BB. That's 25,000 in volume. 1,000 people. So just think, like, just building that and that consistency. Because if you go back up, it's the clear and consistent purpose of your post and your content that helps with that. Is being on those 2 platforms, giving value, giving the engagement. You're engaging with 1,000 guys. This is why you don't have time to entertain naysayers. I'm not going to convince you. Oh, Eric Thomas talks about this so good, y'all. He talks about it so good. I'm not going to convince you. If you don't think I'm valuable, I'm not here to convince you. If you don't think the product is valuable, I'm not here to convince you at all. Hey, God bless you. Thanks so much for chatting with me. I'm glad you wrote me back. Hope you have a good day. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't rebuttal because you're scared. That's a whole nother story. If people have reservations, you still lean into that discomfort. But it's a difference between like, nah, that stuff don't work. You know, you may come back and say, hey, have you ever tried it before? No, I heard. Ooh, you should try it for yourself because it's been working for me for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's a rebuttal opposed to somebody who's just flat out disrespectful and they like, y'all products don't work. They took my money. Boo, you signed up for an auto-ship. Like, what's going on? Did you read it? You know, like there's no reason to put yourself in a position to be going back and forth with anybody. Yeah, 7 billion people on the planet. It's probably almost to 8. 7 billion people on the planet. And we are open in over 20 countries. Come on, international money. Y'all need to get into this international lane. Do you know somebody who knows somebody, okay, who want to make a few extra coins? I've been trying to get into the UK. I've been talking to this girl on Instagram, and she young. So when we got a UK team popping, y'all know what's up. All right, number 5, guys. Y'all know what number 5 is? Know your audience. And in order to know your audience, you have to know yourself first. And so if you have not done the journal prompt, who am I suggest taking the next 7 days and every morning, y'all do this often. What's so crazy? I do it often. I will put who am I as my journal prompt, and I will write down who I am. When I do my I am affirmations, in Jesus Talk, there's the last line says, you made me to be. And I believe that God made me to be leader to nations. And when I speak that over my life, I will walk as if. So if I'm a leader to nations, there's certain stuff that does not go into alignment with being a leader to nations. You know? So who are you? And then what do I want the world to know? What do you want the world to know? And oh God, help me. This can be a sore spot for a lot of people. Because some of us want to know and help people when we haven't helped ourselves. That was me. Rewind it back. Whew. You want to save her, but you haven't saved yourself. So when you think about your person, I want you to really think about yourself. Have you done the work to really help yourself? Or are you only going to be able to take her as far as you went? Which is not true freedom. Because you're still struggling with stuff from childhood. You're still struggling with abusive relationships. You're still struggling with boundaries. And that doesn't mean you can't add value. You can. But what I'm telling you right now is that a lot of us on here need to completely keep working on, not completely, we need to keep working on becoming our best self. You need to call the therapist. You need to go to therapy. You probably shouldn't be going to therapy since, you probably should have started going to therapy in like high school. You need to do it. I can't afford that. How do you know? How do you know? That is such a lack mentality. Come find out. They might have a free spot. Some places do like free people. Be like, hey, this is not really in my budget right now, but I'm wondering if you guys have anything that's available. They'd be like, yeah, we actually have one free. We let one person come here free. But because you were committed to your healing and getting better, because you truly can't help people until you help yourself. Stop worrying about the finances so much and start getting what you need. The finances will come. God provides, okay? Jehovah Jireh. He will provide, but he don't provide for somebody who's sitting on the couch wishing. So what do you want the world to know? Me, I want them to know, and this is not a small answer, this is a big answer. But I want the world to know how good God is despite how jacked up you are. How he will never leave you nor forsake you. And he will always provide. That goes back to the Philippians 4:19 in the New Living Translation, because he is the same God that blessed me exceedingly and abundantly beyond anything I could think or ask when I had no experience in network marketing, no experience in sales, none. And when I say none, when they used to do them fundraisers, as I was a cheerleader, and when they did the fundraisers, I sold like nothing. Because I didn't want to ask nobody for nothing. Because how you gonna tell me no? But I'm in high school, so I thought as a child, so I spake as a child, But I'm like, what you mean you're not gonna order? Like, ain't you? Anyways, are you broke? Like, what's going on? No experience whatsoever. Everybody be like, well, Rachel, you a Delta, you go to this church, you know this, you got that. Just because people have networks don't mean that their networks are golden. Let's just be clear. A network does not mean that you have fans. And people can say they believe in you, but actions always speak louder than words. And they buy into you before they buy into anything else. And I'm not saying I didn't have any supporters, because I did have some supporters. But it wasn't at the level that built this $1 million business. hard to say. I have $1 million business. This is $1 million team. And I started with nobody, practically. Actually, no, practically. I started with nobody. It was just me. It was just me, this single mom with a dream to no longer struggle. That was it, y'all. I was a single mom who was tired of struggling and chasing. I was chasing education. That was my chase. My chase was education because I felt like it would give me the freedom that I needed. Not understanding, I didn't even know how to pay my debt back. How do I even pay y'all back? I don't even know, because I didn't know anybody who had ever done it. Can I just be honest? I don't know anybody who's paid off the type of student loans that I paid off. I mean, that I'm paying. I paid. You better say that I paid off. Amen. That's why when I started the business, it wasn't a priority. It was not a priority to pay I used to tell people that my student loans will die with me. Until I learned, somebody said that they would transfer over to my husband. And I was like, well, Jesus, we need $1 million policy. Because listen, I don't want you stuck with that kind of debt. At least give him a $200,000 policy. So if it passed away, you wipe the student loans out. It's terrible. But that's how, like, I did not at all. When I started, y'all, it was me on that chart by myself. And I began to ask people, tell them. Ask/tell. Because my husband was my first one. Boo, I need you to, you know what I'm saying, be my distributor. Yes, you're going to spend $100. I'll make it back. I'm going to sell these wraps for you, and I'm gonna give you your money back. Because I ain't going to owe no man no money, okay? I probably was talking like that. Anyways. So then it was going to friends. Okay, yeah, my friend, one of my friends from high school was one of my first distributors. She was the second person that I signed. And then the third person was somebody that I didn't even know. I think it was somebody that I worked with initially, the third distributor that I ever signed. And it was like, all right, we're finna fill these boxes to 400, and I'm gonna promote and see what this looks like. And then a switch went off on me, y'all. A switch went off inside of me. And it was like, yo, if you help these people really change their life, that's it. And I'm telling you, it was the switch. And I didn't even know what really changed their life meant, because I was still trying to figure that out for myself. But if you help these people really change their life, it will change your life. And that's what I began to do. And even though I believe, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that I have been an impact in my husband's life over these last 7.5 years. And I have impacted his life in ways that he didn't even think would happen. And I know for sure that the second person that I signed, because she is loyal and she's very smart, which is why she hasn't canceled her account. She's very smart, loves the product, right? So this business is still impacting her life to this day. And I mean, like, tremendously impacting her life. And so when I focused on blessing other people, like, for example, like, let's just say you're helping somebody build their 400 box, and you'd be like, and they get the shout out, right? It'd be like 400 club, and you'd be like, bro, I do that. Like, why? Why did you feel the need to have the recognition for helping bless somebody else? I don't need any recognition, because at the end of the day, if God never blessed you, you wouldn't be able to bless nobody else. That's so encouraging. And when you understand that your reward does not come from people and it comes from Christ, you'll shift your heart and you'll give to give. Understanding that a seed that you plant over here may grow over here. You give to give. Now, I'm not saying that you're not smart. This is where wisdom and discernment comes into place, because there is a such thing called distractions. They're very big in our lives. But the more, bringing it back full circle, the more you understand your audience, yourself, the easier it will be to create content to give to your audience. A lot of people think things are harder than what they really are. And if I can be completely honest, a lot of people think without the right recipe. So if I'm looking at, for example, we had pizza night yesterday. If I'm looking at all these ingredients and I don't have the right ingredients to make pizza, I can think all I want to think. I still ain't gonna get no pizza unless I don't know. You know what I mean? If I ain't got no, I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out. But if I have all the right ingredients in front of me and I'm sitting here thinking, I can create the pizza. So do you have the right ingredients? And I think that's the thing today. Do you have your core values? Do you have an alarm going off so you can be reminded of them every single day? My son knows my values. Because sometimes my phone will be across the room and say, Mom, you're vibrant, grateful, and giving. Can I turn your alarm off? Number 2, social media platforms. Are you clear on the 2 platforms that you build on? You may use other ones, but what are the 2 platforms that you add value and that you engage on? Number 3, are you clear and consistent with what you post regarding your purpose? If your purpose is to help people not be broke no more and be delivered, then I should know that, because you're trying to not be broke no more and be delivered. And so you can share things like, bruh, I had money to go to happy hour today, but I decided not to do it because I want to be delivered. Do you know, there is somebody who wants to watch you do that so that they can have permission to do it? Well, they don't need permission. That's how you inspire people, by sharing your story and your journey. They want to know, because eventually when you get to the reward, they're going to be like, how'd that happen? Oh, I didn't share none of my journey. I was talking to Brianna about this just a second ago. I was talking to the leaders about it this morning. People always talk about my results, but what goes in my mouth? I haven't ate beef or pork in 5 years. I cut beef and pork from my life 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And so when people get different type, I'm not hating, okay? Am I hating? Why are you hating? I ain't hating. But when people ask about my results, there's certain things that I have done in order to get my body prepared to really be able to take full benefit of the products. So quality, that even goes down to the skincare, right? From what I'm putting in my body. Quality, and then also my ship talks about water so doggone much that eventually I decided to get me a tumbler with a straw, because when you drink it with a straw, you drink it quicker and you get through more. Shout out to Toya. Always got her little cup in her hand, drinking her water. So I decided to do that. And so I drink a lot of water. I remember going to get my blood drawn and it was like squirting out in their face, and they like, dang, do you drink a lot of water? Like, yeah, I do. And they're so used to people whose blood does not flow as quick because they don't drink water. Can we just say hashtag your circle matters? Because that matters. Because who are you being around? Because that has a lot to do with what you do. That's good. Yep. Clarity, quality over quantity, finding your 1,000 fans who are loyal supporters, and then 5, knowing your audience. And you're going to journal that out. We're going to get to know ourselves, okay? Because becoming is not an overnight thing. You thought you was going to go through 8 things and be like, oh, she's me, I became. No, it's going to be a process, because to this day, I am still becoming. Like, I am still becoming. And when I turn 60, I will still be becoming. And when I turn 70, I will still be becoming, okay? I'm going to be out here like Abraham, however old he was. 100, 200, 300, 400. No, I'm not. God said that's no more. But I'm going to become until the day I die. And I think that's how you have to look at it. Take the end date off of becoming, and realize that you evolve your entire life. You are supposed to evolve until the day that you die. And this is for somebody real quick, and I'm going over, forgive me. We talked about how I've been really charging my leadership. And if you're in my group, I talk about me working out every single day. One of my goals in 2021 is to get in that habit of working out at least 7 days a week. And it's working out. I think that's the thing. What do you think working out really is, right? Working out. But working out is it's a mental thing. It's $1 million habit. okay? Even if you're working out for just 10 minutes, it's $1 million habit. So I don't care if you're just walking. Peloton app is free for 2 months right now. Get on that before it's gone. Follow me. My name is Mrs. Wicks. But you need to move your body. Why do I love the Peloton app? I don't know. I'm giving them free advertisement here. But I love it because of the length of the workouts. I'm not even gonna lie. They have 5-minute workouts, 10-minute workouts, 15-minute workouts. They have yoga. They have meditation. They have strength workouts. They have workouts where you don't need any weights. They have the HIIT workouts. They have different, like right now they have a Shonda Rhimes going on. So they, a year of yes, like, but y'all know y'all gotta say no to a lot of stuff, but say yes to yourself, okay? They have different genres, like they have the bike. You don't have to have the Peloton bike in order to, or the treadmill in order to enjoy it. And I enjoy it every single day. I enjoy it. They have workouts in there for your family. So you can do like this. I have young kids, so they have like where you walk around and do animal dances and stuff like that. It's so fun and interactive. And so I love that app because it puts me in a position to understand that I don't have to do an hour workout at the gym in order to get my workout for the day. I don't have to walk for 30 minutes. I mean, that's nice, but it helps me just get it done and get it over with every single day. And I like the incentives and all the stickers and all that jazz. So somebody on here, you need to start working out. Stop working in the bed. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't work in the bed every once in a while. Get out the bed. Make yourself have to be at the table in order to send messages. Take your phone out your room. Put your phone in a different room. If you live in the dorm, make your phone charge in the bathroom. Don't sleep with your phone beside your bed. Don't allow your phone to go in your bedroom. I'm serious. These are habits that will change your whole life. Small little things. Make your bed every day. Even when you don't feel like it, we don't trust our feelings. They're not loyal. But I'm gonna pray. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody. Start moving your body. You're gonna have a great week. We're all gonna have a great week. Conference is on Friday. Guys, conference is gonna start Thursday with a trivia night per triple diamond leg, but there'll be a post that goes up in the team page today. So conference starts Thursday night with some trivia fun, and then we're gonna go in Friday. It is all day, Friday and Saturday. You would be in Florida, okay, all day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then you will go home on Sunday. So make room. Call off from work. I'm telling you, it's that important. Just like you was catching a flight, call off from work, clear your schedule, get a babysitter if you can at Corona Safe, okay? But if not, then they just need to be a part of it. Because I'm excited. My son is going to be able to experience conference for the first time. He has saw me go away to conference for 7 years. And this is my 8th conference. And he's going to be able to experience the entire thing. That is exciting for me, for him to fully be able to be engulfed in what has blessed our life tremendously. And you can say your kids will be able to be fully engulfed in what is going to bless your house. So when they move into the house, when they move into the car, when they see their mama feeling better, acting better, moving her body in a better mood, they understand what has blessed them and what they're a part of. So I'm just so excited about what is to come, and I'm going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you. Oh, God, thank you for helping us to become who it is that you've designed for us to be. Thank you for the logistics. Thank you for the strategies. Thank you for the information. Thank you for the wisdom that you're giving us even now. And God, I'm praying that your word says that if we want wisdom, to ask for it. And so those who are on here who feel like they need to gain that insight and that wisdom and that understanding, that they open up their mouths and say, God, give me wisdom in any given situation, and you will give it to them. So God, we just thank you for how we're growing like never before, how we're becoming clear on what it is that we desire, how we're becoming clear on our purpose, how we're becoming clear on who you made us to be, that we are not what happened to us, we are not what we've done, but we are exactly who you have designed us to be, and that all things work together for the good of those who are called according to your purpose. And we love you. So even in this moment, God, I'm just grateful for how you are dropping barriers, dropping walls, dropping disbelief, God. People are starting to believe that they can do what it is that they've been saying, or the things that are in their heart, but they're afraid to confess it out of their mouths, God. They want to go diamond, not understanding that diamond is not for them, but it's for the people that they're serving. They just get to be blessed because of it. Oh, how it even makes me think about working out, how working out is not necessarily for the body. It's everything else to look good in your body, but it's everything else that goes along with with it, the mental, the touching of your arteries, your heart. Like there's so many other things that are blessed because of the obedience of working out. And it's the same thing with this business. As we progress forward and we go towards diamond, towards double, towards triple, towards presidential, it no longer becomes about us, but it becomes about the people that you placed in our life to serve. And so God, we thank you for the serving that you've allowed us to do. God, we thank you for the 1,000 supporters that are coming, the 1,000 fans, the loyal people who are coming our way, and we will be good stewards of these people. We will tell them when their authorship declines. We will tell them when promotions come out. We will use our products out loud so that they can be inspired by our results. And God, today, just I'm praying for an inner healing of those who say, I'm too jacked up, I'm too far gone to be able to do something like this. God, we curse that at its roots and we cast down that in the name of Jesus. God, as we go forth, we will speak life and we will always see the cup as half full, because greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And so no matter what has happened, no matter what has come against us, God, we are able, we are capable, we are worthy, and there is no weapon that forms against us that can prosper, and we believe your word. And so we're just going to go throughout this week with such excitement and with such joy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. See y'all later.